This new era of Doctor Who is drenched with members of the Pantheon of Discord, often referred to simply as the Pantheon, or Gods of Chaos by fans. There are many members of the Pantheon, and they are a collective of transcendental beings dedicated to altering reality and causing chaos. Known and speculated members of the Pantheon include the Trickster, Krampus, the Queen of Time, the Toymaker, Maestro, and ᴄᴏꜰᴰᴜᴜᴜ. But this list isn't exhaustive because it is very possible for the showrunner or other writers to come up with extra members of the Pantheon that we don't yet know of. In this video we're going to delve a little deeper into each member or potential member of the Pantheon ahead of the big Season 1 finale. This will help you, and possibly me, understand a bit more about the Gods of Chaos. Krampus. The one calling itself Krampus stood out. Traditionally known in folklore as a creature that punished misbehaving children, was reimagined within the Pantheon as a harbinger of fear and punishment. This sinister entity attempted to alter history in a particular and malevolent way by removing Amy, Rory and Mel's from the timeline. The audacious plan aimed to create a ripple effect, drastically changing the course of events and furthering the Pantheon's agenda of chaos. This member of the Pantheon found its way into reality through a time field in Ledworth. He managed to fully enter reality by convincing Veronica Stackmore, the spoiled daughter of the mayor, to accept his gift for her. Once in reality, he sent his servants to capture Amelia, Rory and Mel's. When they failed, he personally captured them and took them to the library. To gain full power, he needed Veronica's wish. Initially reluctant, Veronica was persuaded when he showed her an image of Amy's picture brand. However, his plan was foiled when Amy cleverly pointed out that Veronica's hands were dirty, and what she believed to be her doll was actually a lump of coal. This coal had been used to trick Veronica into bringing him into Ledworth. Realising the deception, Veronica threw the coal back into the mirror, causing Krampus and his servants to be forcibly dragged back to where they originally had come from. This one's an interesting one because we know that Stephen Moffat is writing the Joy to the World Christmas episode. And if this season is going to focus around the Pantheon leading into Season 2, Krampus would be an amazing and just absurd Christmas story to tell. And if he had Stephen Moffat doing that, it could be done so well. Like, it could be done really, really well. The Toymaker. The Toymaker was a formidable enemy known for trapping sentient beings in seemingly innocent games, with their freedom as the prize. However, the Toymaker despised losing, and the games were always rigged in his favour. He was a long-time adversary of the Doctor, having engaged in at least 3 lethal contests with him over the course of several millennia. According to the 6th Doctor, nobody knew the true identity of the Toymaker. He was described as old beyond imagining, and existing before Time Lord records began. A team of modern Gallifreyan researchers attempted to trace his timeline, but abandoned the effort, finding his numerous games with his own past tiresome. The Doctor speculated that the lack of persistence was due to their inability to find a way to control him. During the Doctor's early life, the Time Lord's databanks described the Toymaker only as a vague legend, with some reports suggesting the existence of multiple Toymakers rather than just one. The First Doctor, however, saw the Toymaker he encountered as a native of the same universe and believed he had lasted for thousands of years by the time they got to their first meeting. He explained to Stephen Taylor and Dodo Chaplet that this Toymaker was immortal, like all Toymakers, noting that the urge to create ultimately destructive toys was an unfortunate part of their universe. The Doctor metaphorically suggested that the world was full of destructive Toymakers, like him. The Toymaker's family include his sister Hecuba, known as the Queen of Time, and his child Maestro, who was considered as the essence of music itself, and he is also the grandfather to ᴄᴏꜰᴰᴜᴜᴜ. Hecuba, also known as the Queen of Time, was not only the sister of the Toymaker, but also the aunt of Maestro and the great-aunt of ᴄᴏꜰᴰᴜᴜ, sharing her brother's penchant for playing deadly games with lesser beings. Hecuba's preferred arena was time itself, with her traps and challenges being intricately tied into clocks and temporal manipulation. In her pocket universe, stability was maintained by the Grand Chronometer, a colossal timepiece endowed with the power to bend time to her will, capable of even ensnaring the Doctor's Tardis within her temporal grasp. I have done a theory video on Hecuba for a more in-depth analysis if you want it, as I think she could be the one who waits. Maestro. Maestro was an elemental manifestation of music itself. They had control over music and could consume it as substance, feeding on unsung songs and stifled melodies. This act was lethal if done directly from an individual, as evidenced by the death of Timothy Drake in 1925. Maestro could be summoned and banished by using 2 different lost chords. In 1963, they clashed with the 15th Doctor and Ruby at the EMI recording studios in London. Maestro had a particular affinity for Aeolian tones, describing the sound of a nuclear winter as the purest music of all. Henry Arbinger. Henry Arbinger is the son of Maestro, great-nephew of Hecuba and the grandson of the toy maker. He was named to create the word harbinger from the first initial and surname. The term harbinger refers to a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another, usually in a negative context. It personifies an omen, and Maestro underscored this by referring to Henry Arbinger as their prelude, and seemingly removing him from existence upon their arrival in 1925. There is not much known about Henry or what his associated powers of chaos may be yet. The Trickster. The Trickster is an immortal, extra-dimensional alien, part of the makeup of the Pantheon of Discord. However, unlike the rest of the Pantheon, the Trickster frequently ventured to Earth alone. Here, he made bargains to alter history, thriving on the chaos that ensued. By exploiting weak points in space and time, the Trickster could manifest himself in physical form, tapping into the realm of flesh and blood. The Trickster's origins remained shrouded in mystery, with scant information available beyond his affiliation with the Pantheon of Discord. Recorded history primarily documents his relentless efforts to manipulate and shape pivotal moments through time. However, within the annals of Time Lord lore, legends of the Trickster and the Pantheon persisted, hinting at their enigmatic and formidable presence across the vast expanse of time and space. Writer Russell T Davies expressed a fondness for the unofficial name Gods of Chaos, which many fans, including myself, use to refer to the characters such as the Toymaker and Maestro. The term is synonymous with the Pantheon of Discord, aligns with the 15th Doctor's reference to Maestro as part of the Pantheon. While Gods of Chaos hasn't officially been utilised in any media, its adaptation by fans suggests that the Toymaker and his kin likely share this title with the Trickster. Although it's never explicitly mentioned in the audio drama The Queen of Time, it is presumed that Hecuba, the Toymaker's sister, Maestro's aunt, and Henry Arbinger's great-aunt, is also a member of the Pantheon. The main member of the Pantheon that seems to be circulating as the one who waits is the Trickster. There is only 3 Gods of Chaos we have yet to see make an appearance, and that is Krampus, the Trickster, and Hecuba. I feel Krampus would be suited to the Christmas special, and I don't know if Joy to the World would include them in this, but it's Stephen Moffat, so probably. So with Krampus being sent to a Christmas special, we only have 2 known gods left, which would leave Hecuba and the Trickster to show up for this season's finale, unless RTD comes up with a new creation we have never met yet. And there we have it, a full rundown of all the Gods of Chaos that we currently are aware of, their abilities, and who could potentially be the one who waits. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the subscribe button and like this video, as it really does support me and help the channel grow. If you want to stay in the YouTube universe, you can always click this video and that'll keep you there, as it's always the best place to be.